This gelding, though, 0 from 14. He opened on 76 back in March last year after some promising maidens and novices, but he's yet to find an opening. These bits and pieces of form, you give him some kind of chance. I thought a switch to better ground would help him. I think he'd have liked the ground to dry out a little bit more. It's too soft at Windsor last time. He never improved from the rear. And he's going to need to improve markedly, or else he will be 0 from 15. Behind number 1, that's Willingly, Oliver Timms claiming 5 for Mark Usher, and Oliver's ridden 3 winners to date, 2 of them coming last season, both for boss Clive Cox. He's 0 from 9 in 2024 so far. But this mare, she's a 6-time winner. Most of those have come with plenty of juice in the ground, so she'll have been happy of that mill overnight that they got. She's been running well in tricky conditions on her return this season. If the ground isn't too quick for her, because she really likes to get her toe in, then she could very much have a say. I thought she's likely to be close up in the run. She tends to grind away from that position, and if the setup of the race is favourable, then she is very interesting. Number 6, Roman Spring, not settling at all, not happy in the slightest, and doesn't look a particularly good proposition for a jockey that is not allowed to use the whip apart from for safety. We will keep an eye on him. Let's have a look behind number 4. That's San Francisco Bay. Jack Enright claiming the 3 for Henry Candy. Jack's ridden 5 winners since making the switch from Ireland to the UK last year. He's ridden 3 winners this year, improving with his experience as well. It's a first ride for Henry Candy aboard this gelding. Holds no fears in terms of conditions or trip. Won over 6 furlongs on, well, actually, yeah, that was on good to firm ground last July, 58. He needs to prove that these conditions are favourable to him, but at least he's proven over this kind of test. He is interesting. Jack taking off 3, it means he has a fighting chance at the weights. The million-dollar question is, how will he fare on soft ground? The bell's gone. Just time to have a look at our number 2 in here, who is Big Bard, Anna Gibson for Gary and Josh Moore. We mentioned that Anna is the joint most experienced in here with 8 winners to her name. She's yet to have a winner this year. She's 0 from 24. The gelding is starting back up again for his season. He's been off 161 days since disappointing as a 6-4 favourite at Chelmsford. But the all-weather's not really his game. Yes, he has won on the all-weather, but he's won 4 times on turf. He's off 65 for his return. He can run well fresh. Is a horse that Anna knows well, having won on him as well, one of her 8 winners. And behind is number 3, that's Royal Bliss, the 4-year-old filly. First-time cheek pieces to accompany the usual hood. Ryan Kavanagh claiming 5. Ryan's ridden 2 winners to date, his 2nd season of riding. 2 winners, Rikisa at Yarmouth and Villa Blanca at Chelmsford, were both for Amy. I thought this filly should strip fitter for her return over 7. Switches back to turf. The sole success was on the grass and on soft ground at Yarmouth over 7 furlongs. You just wonder if this might just be a little bit quick for her. But I guess the ground being slow won't hold any fears. And if they were to maybe go a stride quick, she could be of interest in here. She does have just a few things to prove for me in this lineup, and is probably priced accordingly. It hasn't come in for much support. You could have had 6-1 earlier. You can now get a general 15-2. So most of them heading out. Roman Spring has not improved his behaviour as he heads out onto the track, but these jockeys are a different breed. Molly Gunn just smiling away, and hopefully he will settle down as they canter down to post for our first race, the Albesti Equiworld Dubai Apprentice Handicap. Whip shall be carried but not used. Got there in the end.
San Francisco Bay, ridden by Jack Enright. And just coming out onto the course is the Only previous course and distance winner in the field, Beau Jardine, number 5. Sharik Moda in the blue with the yellow sleeves, the quartered cap. Sharik was aboard Beau Jardine when the combination won here in mid-July of last year. It was also in a apprentice handicap and is the last of the 7 to go to the start. Reminder here, the non-runner is number 8, Destiny's Spirit. First race is the Albasti Equiworld Dubai Apprentice Handicap. 6 furlongs is the trip. The post time is at 2 o'clock. Post time for our first race is coming up in just over 4 minutes. Have a great afternoon. Good luck.
That's the scene at Salisbury. Runners getting themselves down to the 6th furlong start. And this is the Albasti Equiworld Dubai Apprentice Handicap. And Beau Jardine is 6 to 5 at the head of the market. Here for Sharik Mode, who is on board. This is a race for the apprentices. They're not allowed to use their whips. Willingly, 6 to 1. 6 to 1 Big Bard, San Francisco Bay, 13 to 2 and 17 to 2 Royal Bliss. Roman Spring, 16s, and Qatar is a 20 to 1 shot. So quite short this really. Beau Jardine, 6 to 5 for the first at Salisbury. Here's Anthony.
Thanks, Angus. Yes, pretty short Beau Jardine. That is somewhat by design though, and that's the weight of support that's been around him. You could have had much bigger earlier on into the morning, even into the late morning and early lunchtime, but he has been fairly smashed in the market. Course form such a premium around here, and form in the conditions as well, as we confirm the result there. Medieval Gold taking the opener at Perth 9 to 4 ahead of favourite Vachito 7 to 4, and Kimbara first draft 11 to 1 back in third. 10 ran. Medieval Gold taking the first there. Will it be Beau Jardine taking the first here at Salisbury? Well, there's a lot to like about his runs here last summer. He didn't get a chance beginning under Sharik either time. And the first time it didn't matter. He was so well handicapped that he was able to come through with a strong run. The setup of the race very much suited him, and he won as he liked. Could have been even further. At the second time, it ultimately did matter. He was beaten half a length, staying on really nicely. But there was so much to like about his return over 7 furlongs. A trip that I think he probably could get, but just not first time up and on soft ground would have been a concern that far as well. He travelled into the race beautifully and then just seemed to blow up a little bit. He looked fit in the paddock and he should have come on from that. And I thought there were more positives about his chance than negatives in a race where you can pick holes in more than a few of them. Willingly, I think, would have liked it even softer. She'd have liked the heavy in places earlier in the week here at Salisbury. It was soft heavy in places on Monday. It's dried up a little bit. Big Bard you could give a chance to under Anna Gibson. She's won on him before. And he does go well fresh. I thought he was an interesting each-way player in the race. San Francisco Bay needs to prove himself on the ground. Royal Bliss over the trip. Roman Spring was behaving very badly in the paddock, and Qatar doesn't arrive in much form, but Qatar is back at the scene of one of his best runs when he was a short head behind Lahina Bay on his stable debut way back when for Rashenda Ford. Just has had a few near misses since as well. It's just not quite clicking for Qatar. One of these days he will get an opportunity. I'm expecting a bit of pace on here, as you would expect in an apprentice handicap. That could set up nicely for Beau Jardine. Punters are certainly hoping so. 11 to 10 and very short to get his head back in front. Last one going in. Here's Mark Johnson with the call.
Side post, Roman Spring to complete the line. Roman Spring moving forward now. They're in the gate. And they're off. Racing over 6 furlongs, a little slow to get going was Royal Bliss, slightly behind the others as they go through the first of 6 furlongs in the Albasti Equiworld Dubai Apprentice Handicap. And the early pace towards the rail is with Beau Jardine, being taken on by Big Bard, who's very keen, and then willingly towards the wide outside. San Francisco Bay is racing in 4th, then out wide in 5th is Roman Spring. Next in the field is Qatar, and having made that slow start, Royal Bliss is still at the back of the field. They're already going towards the halfway point. Just over 3 furlongs to go, and Big Bard and Anna Gibson have now come through to take a clear lead to Beau Jardine over on the far side rail, still just holding second. Willingly coming down the centre of the course, as too is Roman Spring. Qatar is just in behind them with San Francisco Bay, and still just the back marker is Royal Bliss. Just over 2 furlongs ahead of them, and 4 of them now virtually in line towards the near side. Roman Spring is coming through with Willingly. Beau Jardine is still there over on the far side. Big Bard now may well have run his race, and they've gone clear of the rest down inside the final furlong. Willingly and Beau Jardine, it's these two now with Big Bard again trying to rally. A half furlong to go, and it is Beau Jardine and Sharik Moda now going clear and racing up towards the line. A second course and distance win for Beau Jardine. Willingly and Big Bard in a battle for second and third, followed in 4th by San Francisco Bay.
And a pat down the neck from Sharik Mode, and as well he deserves it. Beau Jardine has done it in a very different manner than his win of a course and distance last year. That day he was held up probably by a circumstance rather than by choice, and there's just a lot to like about the way that Sharik Mode rode that race. He rode a confident race. He was there to be shot at. There's no doubt about it. And while Willingly has stayed on really nicely for his piece of the prize, never really looked like he was going to get to this winner who was proven in the conditions, proven over course and distance. Big Bard has run perfectly well on the return, carried the head a little bit high, will most likely come on for it for all that he does go well fresh. But it's quite the story, a jockey Sharik Mode. 0 from 54 in his first 6 seasons of riding. He had his breakthrough year last year. He was already on the board for this year as well. And fair play to him. If you don't succeed, try another 50 times, because he's eventually getting the hang of things. He rode a nice winner at Sandown last year for Alice Haynes, who's given him opportunities. That was Maysong on Scurry Stakes Day. I remember how elated he was there. He looked particularly elated with that performance as well. He's given opportunities and he's taking them with both hands, Sharik Mode. Beau Jardine, at a place he knows well, at a place he's very effective, has once again proven the trick. Absolutely smashed in the market, and you can see why. There to be shot at, but they couldn't gun him down.